Portion fix, 80-day obsession. I'm going to bring to the stage Autumn Calabrese.
What's up, Colorado? How's everybody feeling? Oh, it's hot in here. Okay, so we're going to talk for a few minutes, and I had like a whole spiel that I was going to do for you guys about 2020 and goals and visions and plans. And then I went on Instagram this morning and I did a post in my feed. And I got people mad. And I was like, yeah, y'all like that tough love, don't you? Guess what? That's what we're gonna talk about. So, let me just start this with a little quote. I feel like the universe is actually talking to us today with both Kate and Brittany's stories, like they were saying so much about everything that I'm gonna speak to right now. So here's the quote. Your triggers and emotional reactions are reminders of what you still need to heal. Let me say it again. Hear me. Your triggers and emotional reactions are things that you still need to heal. Okay? I triggered a lot of people this morning talking about nutrition. So, how many people in here think eating healthy is hard? Raise your hand. This is like I need group participation. Eating healthy is hard. So a lot of people think eating healthy is hard, right? Let me just piss you off real quick. Eating healthy is not hard at all. Anybody just get a twinge when I say it? Anybody want to yell at me and tell me all the reasons why it's hard? Don't lie, somebody in here does. Somebody wants to be like, oh really, Autumn, it's so easy for you. So here, let me just break down what I was saying in my post and then we'll get into this. So everybody says, healthy eating is so hard. I can't stop eating late at night. I can't stop emotional eating. I can't seem to give up the sweets. I can't meal plan. I can't prep. I can't do this because I'm too busy. I can't work out, I'm too busy. I can't. I friggin' hate the word I can't. Because you guys, yes you can. Truth bomb and the tough love, yes you can. You don't want to, okay? Now, that might sting a little. That might be me holding the mirror up to you right now, and it might hurt a little bit to hear it. But, yes, you can. You don't want to. And it's okay to admit that. You're totally allowed to admit that, and there's no judgment. At least I'm not judging you. If you judge yourself, that's on you, okay? But there's no judgment on, I don't want to meal prep right now. I'd rather sit on the couch and watch TV. Yes, you can stop eating the junk food. Why is it in your house? Is anybody forcing you down the cookie aisle at the grocery store? Probably not. They're probably not. They're probably not like holding the gun to your head and telling you have to go buy the cookies. And also nobody's telling you have to eat the entire bag of Oreos. You're choosing to eat the entire bag of Oreos. Yes, you can emotionally stop eating. You're choosing not to deal with your emotions. Now, I'm not saying that dealing with your emotions is easy. That's hard, right? It's really hard to stop and instead of mindlessly going to the pantry or the cupboard or wherever the Oreos or the bag of chips are, and eating that because you're having an emotion, it's hard to stop yourself in the tracks and say, wait a minute, why am I going to grab for the cookies? And why am I going to eat the chips? And why am I going to drink a bottle of wine tonight? Right? Because if you're not hungry, there's no real reason to go eat the chips or eat the cookies or eat whatever else that you're going to go eat. So it's hard to sit there and say, I'm bored, I'm lonely, I'm sad, I'm irritated, I'm angry, I had a hard day at work, my kid is driving me insane. Like, it's hard to sit there and acknowledge that. And then, once you do acknowledge it, well, what do I do about it now, right? But I promise you that no amount of cookies will make you less lonely. No bottle of wine is gonna stop you from being irritated if your boss wasn't so nice to you at work that day. No bag of chips is gonna stop your kid from driving you insane. It's, okay, so yes, dealing with the emotion is hard, but healthy eating isn't hard. It's your excuses and letting them go that is hard, because our excuses are our safety net. If I hold on to my excuse, I don't have to do the hard thing. If I keep saying I'm too busy to meal prep, then I don't have to meal prep, right? People, yesterday, I was in Sacramento and somebody raised their hand. I was doing a live Q&A for the Monthly Fix, and she said, I'm too tired to meal plan and meal prep at night. Now, how many moms do I have in here? Sorry, dads, you get excluded from this one because you can't experience pregnancy and breastfeeding. Unless you're talking about the tired that you feel in phase 1 of being pregnant, that is like no tired I've ever experienced before. Imagine being on like a 5-day drinking binge in college with like maybe an hour of sleep each night and then trying to function doing a full time. That, like, the tired is so crazy. Okay? That's tired. That's where you're just like, I don't even know where I am. I don't even know if I have clothes on. They're probably the same clothes I had on for 3 days, and they're covered in spit up, and I don't care, okay? Unless you're that tired, you're not tired. You might be a little tired, but you're not so tired that you can't go in the kitchen and meal prep. You don't want to go in the kitchen and meal prep. You would rather sit down on the couch and turn on the TV. Don't get me wrong, you guys. I have plenty of days like that too. Okay? I have tons of conversations with myself. Y'all might think I'm crazy as can be. But when I sit down on that couch and I put on the TV and I know I need to meal prep, I have to have a conversation with myself. Autumn, you get one 30-minute show to unwind and turn your brain off. And then you need to get your butt off the couch. And don't get me wrong, that show ends and I'm like, oh, I could watch one more. But I have to have the conversation with myself, and I have to decide what my goals are and what's most important to me. And if what's most important to me is my health and staying on point with my fitness and with my nutrition, which it is, then I have to get my lazy butt up off the couch and go in the kitchen and do it. Hiccups. You just can't let that excuse keep getting in the way. And we just had 2 amazing speakers up here. You had both Kate and Brittany telling you their stories, and Kate was telling you all about how she realized under stress, right? She moved to California. Yes, that can be stressful. That's where I live. And under the new job and under all of those things, she was stressed. But she, as a teacher, and getting that news from the doctor, decided to let go of her excuses and change her lifestyle. And I'm not saying that it happens overnight, but until you acknowledge all of your excuses, you will not get any of your results, right? You see people post that all the time. When I lost all my excuses, I found all my results. We have all these great motivational sayings, and everybody loves to post them and say them. But do we like to actually follow them, right? So here we are, it's 2020, and we're talking about 2020 and vision and goals and plans, and everybody goes into January 1 and they're so excited about it, as if January 1 has some magical power. January 1 was a Wednesday, you guys. The day before was a Tuesday, right? I don't know about you, but Tinkerbell didn't come to my house and sprinkle magic pixie dust down there, and it was like, poof, great, I can do everything. Like, no, you might wake up feeling that way because it's January 1, but there's nothing in the air that's going to change except you. You have to wake up and you have to make the choice and you have to choose to change. Yes, you have to have a vision for what that change is. And once you have that vision, then what do you need? You need a plan, right? And when you think you've written out the plan, I want you to go deeper into what that plan was or what that plan is. Because people say this, my vision is I want to lose 20 pounds. Great. How are you going to lose 20 pounds? Well, I'm going to work out. I'm going to eat healthy. Okay. What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Because it means something different to everybody out there, right? So for some people, working out and eating healthy might be, I'm going to take a walk 3 times a week. For other people, it might mean I'm going to work out an hour a day, 6 times a week. There's not necessarily a right answer. It's just, what does that mean? What is your plan? What workout are you going to do? I'm going to eat healthy. Well, what does that mean to you? Because everybody starts at a different place on their nutrition journey. 20 years ago, I didn't eat the way I eat now, you guys. How many people know that my dad owned Italian restaurants when I was a kid? Okay? Do y'all know that I lived upstairs from it? Like literally, we grew up in a little Italian neighborhood. Anybody ever seen the movie A Bronx Tale? Our restaurant was the bottom floor. It was a to-go restaurant. We lived upstairs from it. I grew up on pizza, pasta, and subs, and New York-style cheesecake. And don't forget about the soda. Okay? Now, I was a super active kid. Played all day long. Ran around our little Italian neighborhood. It was the 80s. You could tell your parents you were leaving the house and you didn't have to come back until nighttime and they didn't know where the hell you were. It was cool. Okay? We never stopped moving. Never stopped moving. So I could eat whatever I wanted. Now, most of the food that I was eating, albeit Italian food that was loaded with bread, was all homemade. My dad made everything from scratch. Pasta from scratch, pizza dough from scratch, salads, everything was from scratch, okay? After we moved out of our little Italian neighborhood, we moved to the suburbs, and I was about 13 years old. And puberty hit, and school got harder, so there was more homework. And all of a sudden, I couldn't run around the little Italian neighborhood anymore because we were in a different area. So it wasn't an unsafe area, it just wasn't this tiny little neighborhood where everybody knew everybody and my dad didn't have to worry about it. So all those things combined, I gained weight. In most people's eyes, not a lot of weight, but for me, it was a very uncomfortable amount of weight. I was a competitive dancer. And all of a sudden, dance was really hard, and I couldn't turn the way I used to, and I couldn't jump the way I used to. It was very uncomfortable in my own skin. And I couldn't ask my dad what I could do to lose weight, because he's an Italian dad. He didn't know. In fact, to this day, my dad thinks what I do is a joke. No kidding, swear to God. Try to tell him to eat healthy, and I get a whole laundry list of reasons why he can't. Awesome. Super cool. First time he ever saw a before and after photo of somebody from a 21-day fixed test group that I spent 9 months of my life running, he told me the photo had obviously been altered. I was like, Dad,
Her own dad.
I work with that person 6 days a week. That's real. Anyways, my point being is my dad doesn't believe in healthy eating. He doesn't think his healthy eating or unhealthy eating affects the fact that he has osteoporosis, that all his joints hurt. He needs 2 knee replacements. He's had 1 thumb replacement. The other one still needs to be replaced. He has depression, anxiety, and a whole slew of other issues. But I digress. So obviously I couldn't talk to my dad about what do I need to do to eat healthier. I'm a competitive dancer. Thank God I had really great dance teachers, not dance teachers that talk to us in a negative way about food. They talk to us in a really positive way about food. That's when I started learning the importance. It's when I started making tiny little changes. Instead of drinking 2% milk, I started drinking skim milk. Instead of eating white bread, we switched to wheat bread. At a certain point, I went and lived with my mom. My mom was a much more healthy eater than my dad. So she made chicken for dinner. We had salad at every meal. And even though I didn't like the bell peppers in my salad, I'd eat the salad and just not the bell peppers. And slowly, I started to make changes. And one day, my dance teacher said soda wasn't good for you. She, in my book, was like everything. She had lived in California, and she had done all the dancing, like with everybody. And I was like, well, whatever she says is right. Like, she has the life I want. So to me, I was like, got it, soda, it's gone. I stopped drinking soda, you guys. 5 days later, I walked into dance class and everybody looked at me and was like, what is going on? And I was like, what? And they're like, why do you look so skinny? What's happening? Everybody for a minute got scared, and I was like, I don't know, I stopped drinking soda last week. I lost 5 pounds. Got on the scale, had lost 5 pounds, and it wasn't like I was drinking soda left and right. There are things out there that I know I just hit somebody's trigger when I talked about soda. Somebody in this audience is so pissed right now. They want to get up, they want to argue with me about why it's not bad for them. They want to tell me it's okay, just like you want to tell me it's okay to have the Oreos, you want to tell me it's okay to have the chips. And I'm just going to tell you this, if you have goals, if you have fitness goals, if you have nutrition goals, if you have health goals, you can be mad at me all you want. I'm not supposed to be your best friend every day. I am supposed to be the person that leads you, right? So there will definitely be days that hopefully you guys love me and you're like, yes, She was super motivating, and that was awesome, and she got me through the workout. And there's other days I'm gonna push your button, and I'm gonna push your trigger, because I'm pushing you outside your comfort zone. I'm trying to get you to open up your mind to what is real, right? People giving me excuses about traveling. Well, here, let me back up. I get this. Oh my God, Autumn, it's so great to meet you. I love your programs. I was in the best shape of my life when I was on those containers. Okay, why when you were on those containers? Why did you stop the containers? Oh, I don't know, life happened. Like I had a work trip come up and I got sick and da-da-da. And I'm like, and? Like, you guys, first of all, fighting a head cold right now. I've been fighting it for a week. I don't know, I'm still eating, still following portion control, still following balanced macronutrients. Had a glass of wine in Sacramento. It's totally nice. I travel, probably more than anybody in this room. Travel a lot. Traveled to different cities, traveled to different countries for weeks at a time. Still follow Ultimate Portion Fix. Life happens. Life seems to kick me a lot. I don't always share all the nitty-gritty details. We can go back to my dad. That man tortures me. Thank God I love him, because he is like a second child. In fact, he's much worse. Dominic is so much easier than dealing with my father, okay? On any given day, I'm like, oh. And don't get me wrong, I have nights where I'm like, oh, God, I've been dealing with Dad all day. I was trying to get him to log into my Netflix yesterday.
Oh, God.
He's not logged on, by the way, 24 hours, he's still not logged in. I was like, oh, God, I just need like a glass of wine. Like, the thought comes into my head too, I just need a glass of wine. But then I was like, I don't need a glass of wine. Dad irritated me. The glass of wine isn't gonna stop me from being irritated with him. I was like, let me just take a deep breath. Okay, let me take a shower. It's been a long travel day. Let me just not respond to any more of his text messages for the day and be done with it. That was it. That's how I dealt with the emotion of being irritated with my dad. I was like, I'm gonna be done answering your text messages now. Boundaries, okay? Because again, like there's no amount of food that is going to change it. So all these excuses about life getting in the way, can't do this, I fell off track. I'm sorry, but I'm calling you out. It is an excuse. I've been eating this way, Ultimate Portion Fix, for 9 years. 9 years! My weight fluctuates between 109 and 112 pounds. My fat composition will change by about 2%. I'll go from 18 to 20 to 21%. And that depends on how lax I'm being. That depends on if I want to have a few more glasses of wine, like a few more treats, no more than I'm allotted, but if I'm having treats or if I'm not having treats, if I'm getting ready for a video shoot or if I'm not getting ready for a video shoot. The biggest time I've altered in those 9 years was when I had food sensitivities and I didn't know about it, okay? That was pretty horrific. That was a very hard time. It's been 4 years now since being diagnosed, and it's taken a long time to heal my body, and I'm finally getting back to a place where my body feels better. But the point is even with the food sensitivities, even through all of that, I stayed committed to my nutrition. I didn't say, oh well, this is just what my body's gonna do. I'm 35, I guess this is just how it's supposed to be. Because I could have. I had moments where I thought that, where when all these doctors were literally telling me I was crazy and I needed to go see a therapist, because all my numbers looked fine, and they were like, there's nothing wrong with you. And I was like, yeah, weight's falling off of me in a way that it shouldn't. Like, I don't look healthy, I don't feel healthy. I could have taken what they were saying and just been like, aging. That sucks. I guess I'll just eat whatever. Because at that time, I was eating donuts and stuff just to try to put weight back on because it was falling off of me so quickly. So,
Switch your mic.
is it not working?
Going in and out.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
It's not my congestion. So I could have, right? You guys, I could have very easily taken what all the doctors were telling me and let that be my excuse to just say, I guess this is just how it's gonna go. I didn't. I leaned into the hard. I leaned in and I did the, okay, I can't eat eggs. I can't eat nuts. I can't eat flaxseed. Well, that sucks. Those are some of my favorite foods. But great, it's about my health. When somebody tells you it's about your health, like, hey, you're not gonna get better, in fact, you're gonna get worse, all of a sudden, peanut butter isn't that great anymore. Don't get me wrong, I still miss peanut butter. But I also know what it does to me, so I'm not gonna have it. So I had to fight through the excuses. And still to this day, I'm no better than anybody else out there. I don't have a superpower compared to somebody else. It's not that my body is just gonna stay lean and somebody else's body isn't gonna stay lean. It's that I'm committed to my goals. It's that when the excuse creeps in, I've worked my willpower, if you will, enough to shut the excuse down. So I might be 5 or 10 steps ahead of you in the journey, but that's really all that is that we're at different places in the journey. But the bottom line is, healthy eating is easy. How many people know you're supposed to eat vegetables? Raise your hand. Good. How many people know you should eat some fruit in your day? Good. How many people know you should eat some healthy carbs and some lean protein, and you should avoid all the super heavy processed sugar foods? Doesn't seem too hard to me. This is what's hard, you guys. It's your mindset. It's shifting away from the excuses. It's focusing on the goals. And that's part of the beauty of Ultimate Portion Fix. And I'm not trying to do a big pitch on the program right now, but what I am trying to say is that there are tools there to help you. There's all of the videos there to walk you through step by step and what to do about emotional eating and different ways that you can handle emotional eating. And there's your logbook to track your containers. Does anybody in here think I still track my containers? I still track them 3 to 4 times a week. And if I really want to be dialed in, I track them every single day. I use the app on my phone. I track them. And I actually still use my containers. Like, I will put the rice in the container, I will put the chicken in the container. I gotta check myself. Just because I created the program doesn't mean I can't slip off the program. So, there's the tools that are there. There's the support that is there. So many people say, I'm in it alone. You're not. You're not in it alone. That is the beauty of Beachbody. I've got 11,000 people in my diet bet right now. You guys, you know how many people ask, they send me a text message because I have a second phone, that it's the first time ever I've allowed people to actually text message me. And they'll ask me the question, they'll be like, if this is even autumn. And then I voice memo them back. And they're like, oh, it's you. Like, I want to help. I'm here to help. I get 500 text messages a day. I sit on my couch for like 2 hours a night voice memoing people back. But the funny thing is, I'm saying the same dang thing over and over again. I'm only getting asked about 4 questions in different versions. And they're all about struggling with nutrition. So there it is. You have the support. You have the plan. If you have the desire, you can do it. The only thing you can't have is the excuses. Yeah? Welcome to 2020. We're going to have some fun together today. We're going to do a workout in just a little bit, but they've got, I don't know what else they have in store for you. First, I think we're watching a video to see what's coming. Am I right? All right. Thank you guys for having me up here. Thanks for taking the time to listen. If I hit a trigger today, instead of hating me and going on social and saying you lost respect for me, like I got a bunch of messages today, I challenge you to look at why you got triggered and ask yourself if there's something that still needs to be healed. Okay? See you guys for the workout.